This week we're going to look at the verbs venir and ir. So last week we saw the verb tener, meaning to have, whose conjugations are tengo, tienes, tiene, tenemos, tenéis, tienen. And this week we'll look at the verb venir, which means to come, and has very similar endings to tener. They are vengo, vienes, viene, venimos, venís, vienen. So remember, from tener we have the irregular yo form, tengo, stem changes in these forms, tienes, tiene, tienen, and also the er ending of the nosotros form tenemos and vosotros form tenéis. With venir, we have the same irregular yo form, vengo, also the same stem changes, vienes, viene, vienen, and the ir endings for nosotros venimos and vosotros venís. So once again, these endings are vengo, vienes, viene, venimos, venís, vienen. Por ejemplo, mis padres vienen de México. My parents come from Mexico. Tú vienes de España. You come from Spain. Nosotras venimos de Cuba. We're coming from Cuba. Pepe viene de Italia. Pepe is from Italy, or is coming from Italy. Yo vengo de Francia. I'm coming from France. Ustedes vienen de Canadá. Yo are coming from Canada. Alfonso y yo venimos de Portugal. Alfonso and I are coming from Portugal. Ellos vienen de Alemania. They are coming from Germany. Usted viene de Venezuela. You are coming from Venezuela. We're also going to look at the present tense of the verb ir today. The verb ir, to go, is irregular in the present tense. Note that except for the yo form, voy, and the lack of a written accent mark on the vosotros form, vais, the endings are the same as those for regular present tense AR verbs. And the endings are, or rather the conjugation is as follows. Voy, vas, va, vamos, vais, van. I'll repeat that again. Voy, vas, va, vamos, vais, van. Notice that the B sound and the V sound in Spanish are not fully phonetically identical, but very similar. So the B kind of sounds like a V and the V sounds like a B. So you'll notice that as I say it. Voy, vas, va, vamos, vais, van. You might notice it also on venir. Vengo, vienes, viene, venimos, venís, vienen. So there's several constructions to use the, the verb ir. The most common one I would say is ir plus the word a. A is the preposition to. And ir a means to go to someplace. And for example, voy a la clase. I'm going to class. If a is followed by the definite article el, they combine to form the contraction al. If a is followed by other definite articles, la, las, or los, there is no contraction. For example, voy al parque con Juan. A él becomes al. Voy al parque. O mis amigos van a las montañas. My friends are going to the mountains. Or vamos a la playa. We're going to the beach. Or van a los parques nacionales. They're going to the national parks. Ir plus a plus infinitive is an even more common construction, meaning to be going to do something, whatever that verb might be. For example, va a leer el periódico. He is going to read the newspaper. Or van a pasear por el pueblo. They're going to walk around the town. Or vamos a estudiar juntos. We are going to study together. Or voy a almorzar con mis amigos. I'm going to have lunch with my friends. And another very common construction with ir is ir plus, or vamos a plus infinitive. It can express the idea of let's do something. For example, vamos a pasear, let's take a walk. Or vamos a comer, let's eat. Or vamos a ver, let's see. Or it could mean we'll see. One thing I want to explain in this video is the notion of deixis, which means the point of reference. There are 3 points of reference, or 3 kind of levels of deixis in everyday life that we use with language. And the first one, deixis uno, is like I, me, and us. Anything that is around oneself, surrounding some person, is the first level of deixis. And then we have deixis two, which is you and y'all. It's kind of the person that you'd be speaking to or addressing. That direct person right there would be the second level of deixis. And the third level is he or she. It could be they or them, some person that is not being spoken to, is just kind of outside of the conversation. The trouble is that in English we use the words to come and go a lot differently than they can in Spanish. Their usage are a little bit more limited, especially with the use of the word come, meaning go. For example, you'd probably say, I'm coming to lunch, or I'm coming to the party, I'm coming to the movies, or something like that. In Spanish, they simply don't use the verb venir, and they would rather use the verb ir in that instance. And I want to explain a bit why, using this notion of deixis. In Spanish, these levels would be the first level being yo or nosotros, like I or we, us. The second level being tú or vosotros, you and y'all, or usted and ustedes, you and you all, formal. Whereas the third level is él, ella, he or she, or ellos, ellas, they or them, could be. So there are also 3 different kind of concepts of deixis. Right now, I just explained personal deixis, how I, me would be the center of it, and you would be the second level, and he or she would be the third level. There's also time deixis. For example, there's like now and here. Before, recently, yesterday, I would understand that that's something that is prior to now, and even something like later, tomorrow, soon, I might understand that that is at a future date. There's also spatial deixis. For example, here, right here where we are, versus I could say there, which is sort of a place that we all understand isn't here, or over there, maybe it could be. So I just want to emphasize the notion. Right now we're looking at personal deixis, which is this notion of space, a point of reference in time and space, using just words like I, you, he, she. In English, as I said before, we use oftentimes the word coming, like from deixis uno. We'll say, I'm coming to your party tomorrow. It's kind of coming from deixis uno. Or we'll say, we'll come to their place. Yeah, we'll come over there. No worries. And kind of take it from deixis uno over to perhaps talk to you, or even to them, could be. As I said, in English we do this all the time. There's no worries. We all understand what's being said. Or it could even be from deixis dos. You're coming to their party, right? But in Spanish, it is never that way. They only use the word venir when things are coming, when the action or the verb is coming toward deixis uno. It's like coming toward yourself or yourselves. For example, ellos vienen a mi casa. They are coming to my house. It's kind of like these people are coming toward deixis uno. Could also be, ¿vienes a la biblioteca conmigo? Are you coming to the library with me? Notice that the verb is sort of coming toward deixis uno. It's like orienting itself toward oneself. Are you coming to the library with me? You would never, as in English, use the word venir from deixis uno. For example, vengo a tu casa. It sounds like I'm coming to your house. Or venimos a España. I'm coming to Spain. In Spanish, it just sounds incredibly idiotic, and they simply don't say it. They would rather, in these instances, use the word ir, or to go. For example, it would say voy a tu casa, or vamos a España. I'm going to your house, or I'm going to Spain. Colloquially in English, we use the word come all the time. For example, in this very instances, like I would say, I'm coming to your house or I'm coming to Spain. I'm just trying to emphasize the notion that in Spanish they're going to use the verb ir anytime they are talking about themselves going to some place. Voy a tu casa, vamos a España. It could be, for example, vienes a nuestra casa. Are you coming to our house? And instead of saying, yeah, I'm coming to your house, this person would use the word ir. Sí, voy a vuestra casa. Yes, I'm going to y'all's house.